So I set out to build an ultimate setup that works just best for me. A place where I could do work, play video games, or stream either of work or video games at any point in time. Let's get to it. So right now, this setup contains one MacBook, one Windows laptop, two dual monitors, a dual monitor setup, a PlayStation 5, a test mat, a test mat KVM switch, and of course 2 lights for some of my work, and a video camera that handles both my webcam, actually just my webcam. Sometimes I record videos through it, like every other webcam. And I chose Canon here actually because Canon allows me to use this DSLR as a webcam straight out of the box thanks to the cable connected. So as you can see, you will see the final result very soon. But this is a basic setup that just allows me to switch between the MacBook, the Windows, and the PlayStation across either of the screens, right? Aside from the PlayStation, the MacBook and the Windows can switch between either screen. I can actually see both of them at the same time, all thanks to the KVM switch. So how does the wiring actually go on? That is where we need to start getting tricky. So give me a sec. So how do I explain this connection? Okay, so first we need to probably explain what the KVM switch is, because that's what does most of the magic. Yeah, so the way the KVM switch works is that you can get different setups for them. This one is a dual monitor KVM that allows you to use 2 devices with 2 different monitors. So you can find some that allows you to use just one device to 2 different monitors, or 2 devices to 1 monitor, all of that. Like KVM switches are different in that regard, so you can always search for them. This one just supports 4K 60Hz, and whatever the last part means, I don't know. But basically, if you look at the setup, let me see. This allows me switch between which monitors I want to be primary. I can select both at the same time, and which input I also want to be primary. All of this just basically works with connecting 2 HDMI cables to each of the laptops, and also 1 USB to each of the laptop as well. In that way, they can pass audio and also trigger some of the controls. Any mouse or keyboard I connect to the dual monitor, to the KVM, is accessible with any device that is active at the moment. So if it's my MacBook, with my Windows, that works. So I also got this IC box, and the purpose of this IC box is basically to hold the laptops at the back. I'll show you this. So the IC box holds the laptops in the back, away from sight, just so that I can have a much cleaner setup. I hope this video comes out well for you guys to better understand this. So right now my MacBook has been disconnected, so I'm going to connect that real quick. So for this to work, you need to plug in the HDMI, at least I think 2 HDMI devices. So I have these 2. This is 1 HDMI. This is 1 HDMI plugged by the USB-C port. So in case you have only 1 HDMI port on your device, you would need to get like a USB-C or USB-B adapter to HDMI. So I have this HDMI plugged, and I also have this other USB-C adapter as well, with just the actual USB that needs to be plugged for control, and the HDMI for display as well. So I'm plugging both of them. Yeah, so I use a lot of wraps like this just to keep the wires in place, and just try as much as possible to maintain quite a clean setup. Let's see what else. Yeah, so this same connection I've made for the MacBook is also present for the Windows laptop, and I still have a slot for like a flash drive and co, because my Windows laptop has multiple ports. But basically, every individual port on this KVM switch is accessible to each of these devices thanks to the USB that is also connected directly to it. So for example, these two speakers that I have here, actually it's one speaker but left and right, they are plugged directly to the KVM switch. So whichever device is active gets to use the speaker. I have a USB dongle here for my keyboard and my mouse. Once I switch between inputs, they also switch between the devices as well. I think that's most for the things that is happening top level. So I'm gonna real quick take us downstairs. Let me plug my charger for the MacBook. So thanks to the KVM as well, this USB cord for the camera is also plugged to the KVM, meaning regardless if I'm using my Windows or my MacBook, I get access to the webcam easy as well. Let's go down. So the wire at the back here is a crazy mess right now. As much as possible, I try to keep a lot of this behind the monitor screens, and then let the rest of the wire just follow the pole in the middle here so that the wires stay clean from the desk in the front view. Right now I want to add the MacBook charger I just added. So right now the biggest challenge is this extension box that has fallen off from the sticky things. But I see what the problem is. So this guy already fell off. Ouch. Fell off on this guy. So they got separated. So I think the problem is, as much as possible, I shouldn't put too much load on the extension box, because that way it just crashes down every other time. Yes, sir. So now I need the, which one do I need? Is it the rough one? Oh, the soft one. Yep. So right now I just need to hook this guy up. Pull out this guy. It's crazy, right? Yeah, so we push it. Wait, put this up here. Ooh. I think we should be good. Voila. So, for now, that should stick up there, but everything is still a mess, right? All of the wires from the KVM switch come all the way down here, and I just have to put them under here. Which is crazy because this is from the PlayStation. It's the HDMI cable from the PlayStation. Oops, there's a lot of wires. So right now this I feel like this is another video entirely about how to set up your PlayStation or your laptop. But basically, you need something like an HDMI to HDMI plus audio converter to be able to pass both the HDMI from my PlayStation to the monitor I'm playing on, and also pass HDMI and audio to the laptop I'm going to be streaming from. So this is a very essential kit. This is a very essential kit when it comes to connecting your PlayStation to your laptops. So I'll add the link to it in the description as well. putting that somewhere in there. Oh yeah, also in the process of like the HDMI converter, the splitter rather, then goes to, oops, yeah. The splitter then goes to the Elgato capture card. So you need two things to stream from your PlayStation. You need two things to bring your PlayStation video to your laptop, which is the HDMI splitter and the Elgato capture card. So the rest of the wires are quite crazy. There's no way to explain them. They are basically just chargers, you know, power cables for the two monitors, for the two laptops, for the speakers, for the Google Home, and also for the camera. So for you to use a DSLR as a webcam, you need to give it like unlimited power supply. So there's something like that as well that allows you to have the battery constantly receiving power supply. So for now, I'm just gonna talk the rest of the cables in here. Not all of them is gonna make it, which makes it weird, and probably puts pressure on the extension box, but I need to also reduce like the level of gravity for it. Somewhere that makes it convenient like this. It's probably the heaviest of all the plugs, but it goes in there, and then I just take the cable and I shove it somewhere in here as well, so it stays clean. I will show you guys what the view looks like from the top. Some of these other cables, for example, this is for my mic. They are bound to come up because the devices are on top of the table. I'm still looking for ways to improve access to that. I don't want to drill holes in the desk, so I can live with this for now. But yeah, just as much as possible, just reduce the visibility for the extra long cables. And there we have it. So this is what under the desk now looks like from where we started. Everything comes down, and as quickly as possible, they hold up the extension, but they also like go into this bag, this baby bag under in here. And so this is what it looks like. Yeah, so I still got a bit of cleaning to do, but as you can see from the top, there isn't like a lot of wires visible, just essentials, and the bottom also isn't as crazy as one would imagine, especially if you're looking at it from an angle like this, right? So I have something that holds my headset. I have one headset for video calls, regular stuff, and also one for gaming. So this is the top of the desk. I'll clean it up and show you the video, and also this is the bottom of the desk from this view half of the time. But yeah, that is my setup. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions about how to connect any part, you can hit me up and I'll share with you. Cheers. So this is my MacBook, and then I could just switch and Windows, and then at the same time I could get my video games. I have this guy, yeah. Welcome to PlayStation. And I could go back to the screen and still go back to my MacBook without affecting my PlayStation.